From MTN News, you're watching Montana This Morning.
The Belgrade School District talks about reopening this fall and what that could look like. I'm Gabby Crevitt, and I'll have those details coming up.
Anaconda, Montana is hosting summer school. I'll show you how they're trying to keep students safe during the coronavirus.
67 animals removed from a home in Bozeman, to geese, to sheep, to dogs, even goats. Now that owner is being charged with felony animal cruelty. I'm Annie Johnson with that full story coming up.
It is 6:30 now back here in Montana This Morning. Caitlin Corbett, Chet Lehman, and Matt Elwell. Not quite, but close to outdoorable today, you say?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going out on a limb and saying we're going to call it outdoorable. It doesn't fit my perfect criteria. It's just a touch warm.
But we're just there.
But I'm going to be outdoors.
I just went outside. I wasn't sure I was coming back in, but it was beautiful.
Well, here you are.
We were going to lock the door.
Right,
that's why you weren't sure.
Well, there's always that risk.
Yeah, because we were going to turn
always
that lock.
risk when she
Here's
goes
our
out
chance.
the door.
Get him out. Don't let
I
him
wait
back
until
in.
you're both doing something else, so you can't catch me.
Right.
You guys are working on something else, and then I can go outside for briefly.
Next time, Matt.
Temperatures are pleasant right now, holding into the 40s for most of the area. A couple of 50s around that. You know, we only say that because we love you, Chet, right? I mean.
Oh yeah.
A beautiful morning of Bozeman. Oh, he's got a key.
He's got the key.
I have my fob. You can't keep me out.
Low to mid 80s. It is outdoorable. We'll go with it, Caitlin, just for you. Mainly dealing with pleasant conditions for today, but we do have an outdoorable weekend ahead. We're going to talk more about your extended forecast from the Billion Auto Weather Patio coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. 6:31 now. There is a new death from COVID-19 in Montana. It happened in Yellowstone County.
That brings us up to 64 people who have died from COVID-19 in Montana. 60 new cases from the latest report, 16 of those in Gallatin County. The Gallatin City County Health Department reports after this date 2 new confirmed cases as of yesterday. 6 cases that were previously assigned to Gallatin County had been reassigned to other areas. Butte-Silver Bow Health Department has 9 new cases from Friday through yesterday morning. New cases add up to 74 total by the health department's numbers, 37 active. That's in Butte-Silver Bow County. Jefferson County added 2 new cases, Madison County 1 more for a total of 76. 15 of those are active. Beaverhead County added 1 case, but 7 active cases had been taken off the books.
Meantime, Bozeman Public School District Superintendent Bob Connors now has his recommendations for reopening in the fall. Students who want to go entirely online can do so if they choose. And for everyone else, in step 1, Connors is recommending a blended learning model for pre-K through 12th grade students. Connors is also recommending students with the last name A through M be on campus Monday, Tuesday, and online Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Last names M through Z would be on campus Thursday and Friday and online Monday through Wednesday. In order to move into step 2, administrators would work with county health officials to study 14 and 7-day positive COVID test trends in the county. Once those numbers are at the appropriate mark, administrators would reach out to parents and then give them a 3-week heads up about the transition into the next step.
You know, we look back in May at the numbers in May, beginning of June. Things were looking really good that we would be in a cohort model or almost to the point where we would be back to a normal school day. However, our numbers don't dictate that right now. Our numbers dictate that we come to this blended model.
Connor says kids who are 100% online can switch to the step 2 model once that transition happens. Students can also switch at semester. Connor said in his announcement that the school board will be meeting Thursday at 9 a.m. to discuss his recommendations. The public is invited to join that Zoom.
From Bozeman to Belgrade, the Belgrade Public School District changed its decision yesterday morning about how to reopen school this fall. MTN's Gabby Crevitt has the details of the change.
The Belgrade Public School District held a meeting on Monday morning where they announced students returning to school this fall can either return in person or online. One thing that Belgrade School Superintendent GODFREY Saunders said was there's still a lot to be worked out and things are subject to change.
There are a lot of models around the country and in Montana floating around, and there's no one size that fits all.
Which is why the superintendent of Belgrade School says reopening school this fall is a fluid process. Belgrade school administrators say allowing for students to attend in-person class or online allows for more flexibility rather than the blended model that was agreed upon in late July.
Now, but the idea is to have it so that it's flexible enough to allow dropping in and dropping out, if need be, out of either platform.
Saunders says there's plenty of the nitty-gritty to continue to work through.
We have 32 bus routes, and we want to have masks on students with at least 2 to a seat, but with masks. But we have, of those 32 routes, we have 10 where there are some students will be sitting 3 to a seat. So we've got to address those issues as well.
And that means working with the county to prepare for some of the worst case scenarios.
We will have infections. Every school district that comes, a large school district like ours, there are going to be infections. We will address them, not as in-house, but with the help of the county health department.
So in the meantime, parents can start planning ahead for the school year, for learning in person or online.
Things may change. Any decision that we make today, the conditions could go south any day. And we have to be flexible and adaptable and willing to change.
In Belgrade, Gabby Crevitt, MTN News.
And school is already in session in the town of Anaconda. Summer school, that is. MTN's John Amey tells us why other schools are keeping a close eye on the situation.
Good morning. Get your temperature. One more time. You're good.
Summer school students in Anaconda start their day with a little more caution in order to have in-person classes during this coronavirus outbreak.
I think this was a really good kind of precursor and test run to kind of see where we are and how we're going to do it on a larger scale.
The summer school program involves about 70 students, with one group attending class in the morning and the other in the afternoon. After the first week of class, students and staff are getting used to the numerous safety precautions before instruction begins.
The kids have done a really good job with wearing their masks, disinfecting everything, sanitizing everything, making sure we're 6 feet apart. It's worked out really well.
Some students have become accustomed to the new safety measures.
It's fine because it's usually like a normal school day. It doesn't really affect me because I've been wearing my mask for a long time now.
Teachers also have adjusted to the new routine.
Last week I was pretty nervous, and then this week I'm like, okay, I'm in a routine. The kids are in a routine.
The summer school here in Anaconda is just a test run, but school officials know they're going to have more challenges when the fall comes, and they're dealing with more students and staff.
Because it's going to totally change our day. In the morning when the kids get here, we're going to have to take temperatures of, a couple hundred kids versus 35.
In Anaconda, John Amey, MTN News.
So if any student's temperature check comes back high, they have to immediately go home and cannot return without clearance from a doctor.
In other headlines this morning, a 35-year-old Bozeman woman is now behind bars after officers removed 67 animals from her property this past weekend. MTN's Annie Johnson was in court and talked with neighbors about what happened.
It wasn't a farmhouse, but this house in Bozeman had over 60 animals in very rough conditions,
according to court documents.
And then they had 2 or 3 trailers, like horse trailers. And they were loading up the sheep, goats, and whatever else the menagerie had.
Eldon Berkland had just moved into the neighborhood and never expected to see what he saw.
And is responsible for a large-scale animal cruelty operation involving 67 animals.
35-year-old Cammie Ryman was charged with felony aggravated animal cruelty on Saturday, but she was already in police custody on a probation hold, and Berkland had just moved near Ryman.
Oh, we love the area. Tree-lined streets, quiet neighborhood, we thought.
According to court documents, officers removed cats, kittens, dogs, puppies, lizards, a fish, a chinchilla, turkeys, geese, ducks, sheep, and a goat from the home, with the animals not having access to food or water except through a toilet bowl in the basement.
They kept a low profile. The only thing we were wondering, see, their property borderlines the trail we walk back here, and the sheep and the goats came there, and we had even remarked to each other, boy, they don't have much grass to eat there because it's been so dry, So we had a little bit of concern.
Before the arrest, Ryman had 2 pending animal cruelty charges as well as other offenses.
Bond amount was set at $100,000 in addition to her previous bond amount. Her next court appearance will be August 28th. Reporting in Gallatin County, Annie Johnson, MTN News.
Now, Annie also tells us Gallatin County Sheriff's Office says it's working with the Heart of the Valley and the Stafford animal shelters to find new homes for those animals.
And we certainly hope that all of them do find some new, better homes.
Absolutely true.
6:40 now, we're going to take a break. Coming up, Starbucks says look for some big changes coming up soon. The worldwide coffee chain says it's changing its whole business model in the face of the COVID pandemic. What will be different is coming up. First, though, here's a look at what's happening at 7 on CBS This Morning.
Good morning. Ahead on CBS This Morning, we're in Virginia tracking Isaias. See the damage the storm's caused and where it's headed. Plus, 2 U.S. pharmaceutical giants are in their last phase of testing for a coronavirus vaccine. We'll look at how safe and effective these vaccines are expected to be. Plus, Joe Biden is narrowing down his picks for a running mate. Former UN Ambassador Susan Rice is being considered. We will talk to her about possibly being the next vice president. And only on CBS This Morning, Oprah Winfrey reveals the latest entry to her book club. Hear why she calls it her most important book selection ever. We'll see you at 7.